welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another reading vlog. It's been quite a bit since I filmed one. I have been sick, but finally I'm feeling better. The only thing is just I have like a lingering cough, but it's so much better than it was. It's been horrible having to deal with this cough and just all my like cold symptoms going away. I'm feeling so much better and just glad to be back in my routine. It's just been really hard to get back into it though after not filming for so long. It's been difficult, but I'm trying to stay consistent and just like get back into the habit, just like picking up the camera and stuff. But I've been reading a lot. I did binge watch the entire 2 seasons of Arcane while I was sick, which was absolutely fantastic. That show is amazing. So let me know your thoughts if you've seen Arcane and you love it as much as I do. I already started rewatching it because it's just so good, and I have so many crochet things I need to get done before Christmas. So just rewatching it and just, having the comfort characters while I'm crocheting is just a lot of fun. But it's currently December 16th, so it's Monday, and all I really did today was like wrap some Christmas presents, and then I had work today. And this new job has been really great, by the way. I don't know if like you've been keeping up with my videos and you know I got a new job, but yeah, it's been going great. I really love it. And I just feel a lot like better. Like with my change of routine, it's really, really nice. My desk is super messy right now, which is definitely a reflection of my life because between finally being done with school, which is a blessing, I'm so, so glad to be done until January, but that's okay. Between, getting Christmas together, like Christmas shopping, and just like getting my life back together after being sick, it's just like really chaotic. So I had started journaling today because I wanted to make my 2025 journal spreads, and I'm going to film a video on that soon. Because I journal a lot, but like I don't film it, and I just thought it'd be fun to do like a dedicated video to my reading journal spreads. But it's a big old big old stack of books to talk about. I am not reading all of these right now. I'm reading 3 books right now. So the first one is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Loving this so far. I'm currently on page 186, so chapter 19. I've been reading this like kind of fast, but like not as much as I want to be reading it. It's really good. I love the writing. Stephanie Garber has such a beautiful writing style, and just the way she describes clothing and like all the senses, like what Scarlett is smelling and seeing, like everything about this carnival setting is so beautifully written, and I just am really loving it. It's just very magical and whimsical, which is what I wanted from this. It makes me excited to continue the series and then read her other books. Like, it's just so good so far, and it's definitely a good winter read because I just feel like it's just such like a comforting book. Like, the stakes aren't that high, so I'm not like super stressed out. It's more of just like, it makes me feel kind of like warm and cozy in a way, with still being like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm still kind of on the edge of my seat. So as for my thoughts so far, love the writing style. I think Scarlett is a good main character, but she does kind of infuriate me sometimes because like she has that eldest sister dilemma, which like I completely understand because I'm also an eldest sister, but I don't know. It's just a lot sometimes, and maybe it's just because I relate to it too much, but oh my gosh, it's just sometimes she annoys me, but I do really like her. I'm curious to see what happens and like all the clues and stuff. I just love that it's like a mystery. It's so good. I really like Julian too, and I think he's growing on Scarlet, which is really nice. And yeah, I'm just super curious about Legend and like Tella and everything. But yeah, I'm really loving this, and I'm really happy I started this. It's giving me all the magical feeling. And then I did start Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, but honestly I haven't really felt pulled to this, which is kind of shocking because I love Tangled so much. So I got up to chapter 5, which is page 34. So like I read a decent amount. Like it's only 30 pages, but like I don't know, I've got like the main set up, so I just need to like really get into it. But my hold for the library is running out on this, and I'm about to go on this cruise, so like I don't want to have too many outstanding like library holds if I can help it. Like I want to try and minimize the amount that like I still have at home since I'll be gone for like a week, you know what I mean? So I already put in a hold for this, like an ebook copy, so that way if I need to return this before I go, I can potentially still read it this month. But like honestly, I'm kind of over like stressing to finish books by the end of the year. Like it does not matter to me anymore. I already surpassed my reading goal. I've read about 59 books. So as long as, I think as long as I finish one more, I'll be satisfied. That'll make 60 even. I'm not gonna stress too much. So I am liking this. It's just like, I just haven't really gotten into it. So I guess I just was pulled to more of a fantasy right now, which is completely fine. Like, I'm trying to go easy on myself and just like let myself mood read. I'm really okay with that. And then the last book I'm reading is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar, which is a Nutcracker retelling, and I'm reading this on as an ebook. And it's really good. I'm really liking that as well. It's definitely like the classic Nutcracker story. Like, it's not anything like super special so far, but I will say I do like the writing. It's very like magical, like kind of like Caraval, but like more like Christmassy magical, I feel like. And I really like how like I'm getting a sense of the characters through like their dialogue and their actions, because with the ballet, like, you know the story, but you don't really know the characters. You just kind of see what they do as they dance and act it out. So it's cool to have like, actual feelings and emotions and thoughts from these characters that I know so well, like that are actually like portrayed and like conveyed through words and not just like dancing. So yeah, I'm really liking that. I'm hoping to finish that before Christmas, or at least before I see the Nutcracker. That'd be really nice. But yeah, really liking that one too. But as for the other books I have to talk about, I had 3 more on my December TBR, and then another one I have acquired. Like, I didn't bought it, and it's just a borrowed copy. But the 3 books that were on my December TBR are A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is a reread, so like it's not a super high priority. I was really hoping to read it, but like I'm not gonna hold myself to it. I've read this before. It's not necessary for me to read it again. I just thought it would be fun too. And then I have 2 library books. I have The Book of Three by Lord Alexander and The Ice Swan by Janelle Siselski. I always mispronounce that. But this is the first book in the Chronicles of Prydain, which a coworker told me to read, and I still really want to read. I just might bring it on my cruise with me, because we have a long car ride, so if I could like read this in our 16-hour car ride, that'd be great. And then this one I had on audiobook, but I think I also want to try and read the physical copy, but I have so many books on my plate right now that like, I don't really know if I'll get to this, but the concept of this sounds so good. It's like a marriage of convenience between this Russian princess and a Scottish duke during the Russian Revolution, and oh my gosh, it seems so like wintry, and I feel like I'll love this. But yeah, I've got a lot of books on my radar right now. And then the other book that I borrowed from a coworker is Becoming Calder by Mia Sheridan, and I have no idea what this is about. It's just about a guy named Calder and a girl named Eden, and they're like from different, I guess you could say social classes. I don't really know, but like it's kind of like a forbidden romance. So yeah, I'm curious to read this too, and I feel like it'll be a fun, silly romance book that I'm intrigued to give a try. So as for my reading plans for this week, I'm trying to like make my goals small. I'm trying to not overwhelm myself because I don't want to stress myself out with like, oh, I have to finish this book before I go on my cruise. Like, I don't want to give myself unnecessary stress. I'm trying to enjoy Christmas and the holidays and like the rest of my break from school. Like, the school part can bring me to stress. Like, that's completely fine, but reading is fun and it does not need to stress me out. So I'm trying to minimize that. So I think my priority for this week is definitely Caraval. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. Is it Caraval or Caraval? I'm gonna say Caraval. But my priority for this week is Caraval, and ideally I'd like to finish it. I've been reading it decently quickly, especially since I work tomorrow and then I work Saturday. So I'll have a big chunk of time to potentially and hopefully read this and finish it. That'd be really nice. I'd also like to make more progress in Midnight in Everwood, since that is a like priority winter book for me. I would really like to read more of that. I'm really, really enjoying it. And then if I am feeling like it, I'll read more of Tangled Up in You, but this is, this is not like as much of a priority anymore. Like, I still want to read it, but I'm not like as in the mood for it right now. I'm just really in the mood for fantasy, so that's what I'm gonna read. And I'm just really getting excited for the holidays and for Christmas. I always love, celebrating Christmas and like giving people gifts. It's just so much fun, like picking stuff out for them and just like seeing the reaction when they open it. So I'm really excited for that. I already anticipate I'm gonna be getting multiple books for Christmas, so that will ensue a bookshelf reorganization, which will be really exciting and much needed because it's kind of gone to chaos. Like, it doesn't really look like it, but I feel it. Like, it needs to be changed around a bit. I just don't know what I'm gonna do because I have so many first books in series, but not like the rest of them. But as I like continue reading them and acquire the like rest of the books in the series, it's kind of a nightmare to figure out where I'm gonna put them. So I don't really know. We'll have to figure it out, and potentially I'll get another shelf, but like I'm really running out of room. I thought it would be cool to get like shelves to put over my bed since I have so much open space over there where I could display like my Strange the Dreamer books or something since those are my favorites, and then I could make more room. Like I don't really know. We'll have to see. Or instead of putting books on those shelves, I could put my like knickknacks. You know, like the stuff that I have on display on my shelf. I don't necessarily need on my bookshelf, but it has no other spot to go. So I could put it on those. But, you know, we'll have to figure that out. That will not happen in this vlog. I just wanted to mention it because it's an idea I've had. So, I've been yapping quite a bit and I really want to get back to figuring out these journal spreads. So I'm gonna start filming that video, and I don't know when I'll go to sleep, but before I go to bed I'm definitely going to read more of Caraval because it just is such a nice book to read when I'm all cozy in bed. So I will see you tomorrow. Whoa. Whoa. Chair never wants to sit straight. It's so annoying. Oh my goodness. And it's so cold in my room. I'm just ready to crawl up in bed with a book, which is what I'm about to do. But first, I have to give you a reading update. It's currently Tuesday, the 17th? Is it the 17th? It's the 17th. Tuesday, December 17th. And it was just another, you know, regular day. I ran some errands this morning, did some journaling. I'm currently in the middle of filming my 2025 journal spreads. I think I told you that yesterday, but it's just taking a bit because my hand starts hurting so much because I'm doing so much like drawing and outlining, and it's a lot of fun, but it's just a lot of work, but it's coming along very nicely. So I hope that if that video is already up, you enjoyed it, and if it's not up, then you will see it soon. I'm not really too sure when I'll get done with that. But for my reading update, I read a lot more of Caraval last night. You might hear me saying Caraval and Caraval, but leave me alone. Just let me do it. But I read a lot more of Caraval last night. I literally binged so much of it. It just started picking up. It got so good. Just the plot has been thickening, and you know, the mystery has been unraveling, but at the same time, it's gotten so complicated that I'm just as confused as Scarlett is. She went through a period where she thought Julian was Legend. Oh my gosh, I don't think it's a spoiler, but I like literally, like my jaw dropped. I was so flabbergasted, but he's not. At least I don't think so. Like this far in the book, I don't think he's Legend. Like there's no way he could be. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you don't know. Like it's just a game, just like it says. Remember, it's only a game, but like, is it? Like, I am just so excited to find out what happens and also see where Tella is. Like, we haven't heard from her in so long. Like, I'm really scared, but I'm just loving this. Like, it's so good. So I am getting potential 5-star feelings. It depends on how the ending is, but I'm just loving this a lot more than I thought I would. Like, it's just really good. It's a great, like, winter fast-paced fantasy book, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, it's giving me all the fantasy vibes I was wanting. So I'm very happy. I'm currently on page 278, which is chapter 29. So, you know, a decent bit left, but like it's not that much. But since I'm reading it so quickly, I'm like, I surely will finish it this week. Like, there's no doubt about that, especially because I have the next 3 days off from work. So tomorrow my friend is coming over and we're gonna do some baking, some reading probably. Honestly, I don't know what we'll do besides that because it's cold and it's gonna rain tonight, so it's gonna be yucky tomorrow. But we're just gonna have a nice, fun, chill day. I'm really excited. I haven't seen her in a bit ever since school ended. So that'll be really fun, and she's gonna stay the night, and I haven't had like a girl sleepover in so long. Like I haven't had a friend slumber party in forever. So that's gonna be really fun and like kind of nostalgic. So I'm just really excited. So I'll try and film some stuff, and like, you know, if we read, I'll maybe take some footage or something. I'll have to see what she wants, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. And then Thursday I'm going to see my grandparents for a bit. We're gonna make some cookies. But other than that, just like reading and like catching up on like the hobby stuff that I like to do. So like obviously I'm doing my journal, I've been reading a lot, I'm all caught up on gifts. I'm gonna get my last bit of Christmas gifts tomorrow morning, and I'm really excited to be done with everything, like done with the shopping and the wrapping, so I can finally just like give my full attention towards my hobbies. I also really need to crochet a lot more. So that's probably what I'll do tonight and for the rest of this week. And then I work this weekend, so that'll be kind of busy of a weekend, and then we're like straight into Christmas. So I'm just glad I have like the rest of this week to just kind of slow down and like take some time, because sooner than later I'll be on this cruise and it'll be so much fun. But like, I don't think I'm mentally prepared. Like, I'm really not ready. So it's gonna be weird like pivoting from Christmas time to being in like the tropical islands. Like, it'll be a lot of fun, but I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I can't even comprehend that that's gonna be happening just in like a week or so. So yeah, I'm really excited. I need to start packing, or at least like thinking about packing for that. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue Carvel tonight. I'm like really pumped to get in bed and get all comfy and just read this, because that's what I did last night, but I had to like kind of go to sleep early because I work today, but I don't work tomorrow, and I don't have like any plans besides errands and hanging out with my friends. I'm like, I could potentially like stay up late and binge read this, but who knows? I might get like super tired and fall asleep. I don't really know how the night's gonna go, but I just know I'm gonna spend it with this book, and I'm very pumped. Okay, it's the same night. It's still Tuesday the 17th, but I was flipping through my reading journal because I'm still like, I've only gotten halfway through this journal when it's about to be 2025. Like, I really haven't journaled that much this year, which is really sad, but it's just been a really busy year for me. So I'm just gonna, you know, pick up where I left off and make my 2025 spreads like halfway through, so that we'll have like the first half 2024 and the second half 2025 or something like that. But I was looking at my 2024 like yearly reading spreads that I had started, and I forgot I did this like book superlatives page. So I thought it'd be fun to fill it out now, because I'm pretty much done like with reading for the year. Like, yes, I'm still in the middle of books, and I'll probably finish maybe definitely one, but like maybe two more before the year ends, hopefully. So I thought it'd be fun to like fill out these with what I've read this year, because, you know, who doesn't love to just talk about books more? So yeah, let's go through this. I'm actually really excited. This is a fun little activity. Also, I have my heater on, so I'm so sorry if you can hear that in the background. But yeah, okay, let's get started. I have book superlatives and then wall of shame. So I guess we can do, let's do book superlatives first, and then we'll go into like the trash talk. Not really, but like, I'm excited to talk about the wall of shame books. Okay, so I pulled up my Goodreads so I can easily like see all the books I've read, and thank God they have their year in books features, so I can just like have that overview of every book I've read this year. But the first prompt is book of the year, which is really like, that's tough to answer because I've read a lot. Okay, I'll be honest, I've read a lot more 5-star reads this year than I thought I would, because I started the year with finishing the ACOTAR series, and you know, those were 5 stars, like easy. But for, I think like multiple months, like I think until the summer, I didn't read another 5-star read until I reread Strange the Dreamer. And that was my next 5-star read after that. And I think Strange the Dreamer is a blessing in disguise, because after I read that, did that reread, I had so many 5-star reads after that. Like, I was reading so many good books. So it must have been a good luck charm. But like, choosing year or book of the year is going to be quite hard, because we have really good contenders. We have like A Court of Silver Flames, we have Heavenly Bodies, we have Muse of Nightmares. Oh, that's honestly kind of impossible for me to choose, because those, I think those 3 are probably my top favorites. Muse of Nightmares, Heavenly Bodies, and Court of Silver Flames are my top 3 of 2024. It's just really hard to pick between the 3. Because Don't make me do this. What? Who am I talking to? I'm making myself do this, but like I just don't like doing it. Okay, what should we do? I don't know. Okay, well I have some different categories, so maybe if I put one in book of the year, and then I can put the others in the other categories, because it'll still count, you know. So maybe that's cheating, but I don't really care. Okay, book of the year. Okay, I knew I would love A Court of Silver Flames, and I knew I would love Muse of Nightmares, but I wasn't sure that I would love Heavenly Bodies, because that was a completely, like, blind chance. Like, I had heard good things, but I wasn't too sure. Like, but for Silver Flames and for Muse of Nightmares, I had read the other books in those series before. So I was familiar, and I loved them so much. Like, the previous books that I knew, I would love those. So this is just my tactic. I'm gonna go with Heavenly Bodies for Book of the Year, just because it was like unexpected, and it still stands as just like a fantastic book. Okay, okay, that's a good way of deducing it. I'm okay with it. Okay, let's write. Actually, I'm gonna write this down so it looks okay. Okay, and then the next category is favorite character, which is also hard because I've read a lot of great books, which have a lot of great characters. That's so tough, because then I'm thinking about like Crescent City and Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is so hard. Oh, and Shadowhunters. Oh my gosh, this is actually impossible. Because my heart wants to pick Nesta. I love Nesta. And like, I think she deserves the spot as favorite character. But then I think of Muse of Nightmares, and I'm like, okay, those characters do too, but it's hard to choose one because I love them all equally, so I feel like I can't put one above the other. So I don't think I'll put a Strange the Dreamer character there. And I love Pip, but I also love Robbie, and I feel like you can't do Pip without Robbie. So I think I'm going to do Nesta. I think I'm going to do Nesta. I feel like she deserves it. And yeah, I feel like throughout the year she has had that place as favorite character. Let's write her in there. I'm definitely doing abbreviations because I don't want to write all that out. Okay, and then next is best couple. Which is also hard. Gosh, this is so hard when you read so many good books. Like, I love reading great books and like so many great books, and having a year like this where I can look back and be like, man, I read some bangers this year. But it's really hard to like give them superlatives when they're all amazing, because then I'm like, okay, well, you got better than the movies. Like, they're a great couple too. And then I did read Chestnut Springs, but I think out of all the other couples I have on there, they don't come close to like the fantasies I've read this year that have like impacted me. Okay, I already have Nesta, so I don't think I'll put Nessie in. Because as much as I love Nesta and Cassian, I don't think I can. And then Enzo and Alara from Heavenly Bodies, they deserve it too. And I think Bryce and Hunt do as well, and Pip and Robbie. But I also feel like if I don't do Laszlo and Sarai from Strange the Dreamer, it will be a crime. And I'm totally okay with doing repeats. I don't have to, like, you know, be fair. Okay, we're gonna do Laszlo and Sarai. I'm definitely gonna make the spread for 2025 too. This is really fun. Okay, best cover. That's hard, because I love all these covers. That's actually really tough. There were a lot of great covers this year, and I just love book covers so much. They're really fun. Okay, I think I'm gonna go Fear the Flames for best cover, because it is like a really, really cute fantasy cover. Like the green and the gold and then the dragons and everything. Yeah, I can get on board with that. Okay, and the next is favorite series. This is so difficult, because I have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have Chestnut Springs. Akatar, Shadowhunters, Mortal Instruments. But like, do the Mortal Instruments rank above Good Girl's Guide to Murder and like the others? They are a lot of fun, but I don't think they come on top. Actually, okay, favorite series is gonna be Saga, the graphic novel series, because I have read, how many volumes have I read this year? 6? I think that's like half of the series so far, and I freaking love it. I need to continue that. I really need to pick up the next volume. So, okay, yeah, that is so true. I can't believe I forgot about Saga. But yeah, Saga is a great series. If you're looking for a graphic novel series that has action, it has plot, it has amazing characters and character development and like a found family aspect, it's really, really good. It's sci-fi. It is more like adult, so just be warned of that. But it's so good. I highly recommend Saga. I really, really recommend picking it up. And then the next one is Most Worth the Hype. I haven't really read too many like hyped books this year. I did try and read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, but I hated it. So I DNF'd that one. So if I did finish it, I'd put it there, like if I had enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it, so it can't be Most Worth the Hype. But like other than that, I didn't really read many like hyped books. Because I feel like Crescent City is hyped, but I feel like people also don't like it that much. Maybe I could do Chestnut Springs. I guess I'll do Chestnut Springs series, even though it feels like that's wrong, but I'll put Heartless by Elsie Silver, because out of the ones I've read, that's my favorite so far. So yeah, I'll do that. That seems fine with me. Okay, best written. Whew. It's gotta be Muse of Nightmares. It has to be. Like, there's no other choice. I really can't. The next prompt is best world building, which is also difficult because, like, Crescent City has insane world building, but I wouldn't call it the best because those first 200 something pages where I slaved through listening to, trying to figure out what the heck was going on, I can't say that's best world building. Like, it's cool world building. I enjoy the world and the world building. I gave it 5 stars, but I feel like it doesn't compare to Heavenly Bodies or Strange the Dreamer. Again. But also, I have to admit the Shadowhunters books really kill it with the world building too. Okay, I think I'll do Shadowhunters because that is a new series to me. With Strange the Dreamer, I've read it before. That was just a reread this year, and then I finished it with Muse of Nightmares, so I was familiar with it this year. But going into this year with a fantasy book that was new to me, with the world building, I'm gonna say Shadowhunters, Mortal Instruments. The last one for book superlatives is most underrated. And this is a good like question because I've been talking about the same like 5 books, so it's good to have the opportunity to talk about something that maybe doesn't get talked about as much. So yeah, this is exciting. What are we gonna choose? I think I might go with The People of Paper by Salvador Plasencia because I read that for an English class during the spring semester, and it was so good. Like, I read it for school, and it was just so like fascinating. It was a really unique concept and like type of book. It's so difficult to explain it. I did have a vlog where I talked about it more, so definitely go watch that if you want to like learn a little bit more about it. But I do recommend it. It's a really, really unique book. It's more of like a literary experimental fiction, which is not what I typically read, and it's definitely underrated because I had to get a copy off like thrift books and it was really obscure. So yeah, it was really good, and I think more people should give it a try. It feels criminal that I do not have Pip and Ravi on here at all, so I think for best couple I'm also gonna write Pip and Ravi because I love them so much and I feel like I can't like not include them. So we're kind of cheating and doing like 2 answers for 1, but I don't really care. So that is completed for the book superlatives. You can take a look, see at what I've written here. But now let's get into the Wall of Shame. I'm so pumped for this. I'm actually so excited. I love hating on books just as much as I love praising books and talking about books I love. So let's go through it. I've read some bad books this year. I've DNF'd some books this year. I'm excited. So the first prompt is worst character. Worst, I feel like, is a very general term because you could do worst written character. and I would tell you maybe the girl from that Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, like that, those characters were bad. They were not written well. They were okay, but like not that good. But like worst character, are we talking about how they're written or like their actions? And like the one I hate the most. Because if so, I would say Micah from Crescent City. I hate him. He's horrible. Like there's a lot of characters I could hate. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably say Micah or I couldn't say Valentine from Shadowhunters because he's actually cool. Like he's intriguing of like a villain. Micah was intriguing. Like he's an intriguing character, but he's just such an asshole that I just don't care about him. Like he's just, I was happy when bad things happened to him. Like I just don't like him. Like I never did, so I don't like him. I could also say the girl from Iron Widow. Hated her. Hated that book. Or I didn't hate it, it was just really disappointing. Yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna say Micah from Crescent City because he's not like a badly written character. Like he is interesting. His motivations and his choices are interesting, but like he's the most unlikable guy ever. Like everything he does, especially like to Hunt and stuff and to Bryce, I hate him. He's horrible. Okay, not worth the hype. So I know what we're going with. We're going with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I did not finish this. I DNF'd it, but it's not worth the hype. I'm not trying to be mean when I talk about these books. Like this is just my opinion, but I just didn't click with the writing. It just seemed very like regurgitated to me. It just seems like a mixture of Hunger Games and Red Queen, and I know that's a very regurgitated argument now, especially now that the like rest of the books are out, I think. So there's like more to go off of and like say it's different with, but it just felt too similar to me, and I love both of those books way more than Powerless. And the writing just also felt very forced. It didn't feel genuine to me, and it just felt like a very cookie cutter, emotionless book to me, I guess is the best way to describe it. So I don't really understand the hype it gets. I'm glad the author's doing well, and I really am happy for her. Because that's my dream, is to have, you know, published books and have people love them and enjoy them and just, you know, read them in general. But I just didn't really enjoy it, so I just don't think it's worth the hype. So we're gonna put it here. And then we have least favorite, and this is going to Iron Widow by Jiran J. Zhao. I think that's how you say her name. I'm so sorry. But I had such high expectations for this book, and it disappointed me so much. It was just a lot going on in one book, and I felt like this could have been, instead of 2 books, because I know the sequel's coming out this month, instead of being 2 books, this could have been like 5. I would have loved to see the magic expanded on and the technology, and also just the character development. It seemed very rushed and very forced, and I just did not like the main character, and I get that she was supposed to be unlikable, but for the time frame and the pacing, it made me like her even less because it felt so quick that I couldn't really understand why she was doing the things she was doing, because there wasn't enough time to understand it and to like really see her actions and know why she was doing what she was doing. So it was really sad. I really hoped I would like that book, but it's just, yeah, I'm actually very, very sad that I did not enjoy that book because I had such high hopes. And the cover is absolutely stunning, and I'm just sad that I can't like anticipate the next book because I just don't want to read it. Like, I didn't enjoy the first one, so, you know, I'm curious to find out what happens, but my interest is just gone. So I'm realizing I wrote least favorite twice accidentally, so we can pick a second least favorite book to write here, which I didn't really, you know, have that many bad books this year. I had mainly ones that were just like okay, like they were just kind of mid. I didn't really like care too much for them, but I think the other one we're gonna put here is I always stumble over that title. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This is like a mafia romance series, and I had started it because I had thought it would be a fun like romance series, like with interconnected stories to follow along and just to like binge read, but I just did not enjoy the first book. It just felt very plain, very flat. Like the characters weren't really well-rounded to me, and they also annoyed me a lot, so the writing just definitely was not my thing. So sadly that was like a 2-star I think I gave it, so it was definitely a least favorite compared to everything else I read. And then we have most overrated, which I could definitely put Powerless here too, but I won't repeat it because I feel like there's something else I can pick. I don't necessarily have to dislike something for it to be overrated. Like, I can enjoy a book and I can also agree that it is overrated. So I think I'm gonna put, I think I'm gonna put Powerless by Elsie Silver because I did like that book, but I feel like that's everyone's favorite out of the Chestnut Spring series. And for me, it was just okay. Like, I definitely like Heartless a lot more. There just felt like there was more tension, and I felt like I could connect to Cade and Willa a lot more than what's Sloane and Jasper. Like, I'm forgetting their names. So I don't know, I just feel like I could connect a lot more to the other characters than the ones in Powerless. Like, it was still good, I did enjoy it. I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. And so for people to say that's their favorite out of Chestnut Springs, I'm like, okay, good for you. I can see why, but I just don't agree. So I think it's a bit overrated, and it's kind of funny that I wrote another book called Powerless for this answer. Most disappointing, I feel like this can also go to Iron Widow, because I'm just really sad about that. I am. Okay, and then the next one is least favorite couple, which is also interesting. This is gonna require some thinking. Okay, I don't think there's anyone from ACOTAR. Okay, I have a potential answer. I have a potential answer that will definitely make sense why they're my least favorite couple. Yeah, okay. My least favorite couple is Jason Clary from The Mortal Instruments, because what the hell? Why? Why is there an incest plot? That's the worst thing ever. They would be so cute if they weren't siblings. It's been a bit since I've read them, so I can't remember if it was revealed that, like, oh, they're not siblings or whatever, because, like, I think that happens or something. But, like, if that's the case, why tease us with that? Like, maybe that's just, like, a plot point that, like, Valentine used to, like, manipulate them, but, like, why? It's so unnecessary, and it's just weird, and it just grosses me out. So they're my least favorite couple. My camera cut me off, but the last question is worst cover, and I was just saying that, like, Malibu Rising's cover is definitely, like, boring, but, like, it's not, like, the worst. Like, it's not, like, the ugliest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it turns me off from reading it. It's just boring. There's just nothing to it. But, like, every other cover I see on here is, like, really cute, actually. So, okay, I think I'm gonna do... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say Malibu Rising, because why not? We have our superlatives done. Take another good look. This was a lot of fun. I'm excited to do my next one for my 2025 spreads. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of fun, especially with the books I hope to read in the next year. It'll be really, like, honestly even harder to rank than these ones. So yeah, I'm done talking right now. I'm so tired. I want to go read. So I'll see you tomorrow. We're back.
Hey.
This is Kaylee. What video were you in? It was like this summer.
Yeah, I was in one where we went to the park.
We went to the park and I was unboxing A Blind Date with a Book.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so go watch that. And then we'll watch this. But anyways, Kaylee's staying over at my house tonight.
Slumber party.
And we got snacks and we have books and we're gonna make a fantasy map, which I'll show. And we're gonna bake gingerbread muffins, which I'll also show.
Eat some chips.
Yeah, and we're gonna try and read as much as we can tonight and maybe stay up all night. But probably not.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We got party lights.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we wanted to give a snack haul and also talk about the books that we're gonna be reading or, like, potentially reading when we definitely stay up all night. So
yeah.
Okay, do you wanna go first? You can talk about your book.
Yeah, so right now I'm reading The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston.
Yeah.
Poston.
I also have this, but I won't be reading it.
She won't be reading it, but if it's good, she'll read it.
Yes.
Do I, like, talk about
Yeah, you can talk about what you think.
It's
what it's
about this main character. Her aunt recently passed away, and she was a very eccentric lady, and she traveled a lot. And growing up, she'd always tell her that her apartment, her New York apartment, was magic. And so then she's living in her deceased aunt's apartment, and super depressed and sad, workaholic, and this is all her place.
No,
and then she
okay.
wakes up one morning, and she's 7 years in the past. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I think
that sounds so good.
she's gonna start loving life again.
Ooh,
So,
and I love the cover. That's
I know,
so
it's
cute.
really cute.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You're really making me want to read that now.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm still reading Caraval, or Caraval, however you say it. How do you
This
say
one's
it?
really good. I say Carvel, I think.
Okay,
Carvel,
I'll say
yeah.
Caraval. I don't know. I've been saying it weirdly this whole video, but I'm on page 300 exactly, so I'm almost done, and I've been reading this really quickly, so hopefully I can like speed read the rest. I feel like it won't take me that long, but yeah, I've been loving this a lot, so hopefully I can finish it quickly. That'd be nice. I just would love to finish it. So I'm loving this.
You got 6 others to go through.
Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about. And then I did get a physical copy of Midnight in Everwood from the library because I was reading this on, well, I am reading it like ebook format, but I would rather have the physical book. It's just like easier for me right now.
It's such a pretty cover.
It is. It's beautiful. So I will be reading more of this, hopefully. I just want to finish this before Christmas. You know,
It's your
like
Christmas wish.
Yes, exactly. So I'll be reading more of that once I finish this. This is what I'll be reading first. And then I have 3 options for what I can read next. It's a lot easier for me to get caught up in what I want to read because this is my house. But I tell Kaylee she can pick whatever she wants. If
I got a whole
if she
library
finishes
back
that,
here for me.
she has free reign over my shelves. But I have The Ice Swan, which I have wanted to read because it's like Marriage of Convenience, and yeah, it looks really cool. And then I have Becoming Calder, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for this. I feel like I'm in the mood for like some drama.
Seems like it might be a tearjerker.
Yeah, maybe. But then I also picked up The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare from the library.
Is this part of the series where the siblings get together?
Yes, Shadowhunters.
I know you're into that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's funny. No, I read these first 3 books.
Okay.
But this, I was looking at like the reading order because there's so many freaking books, and I was like, this follows 2 characters, Alec
like within it?
and Magnus from this series.
Okay.
So like I'm familiar with them. This is just like one of their adventures, I guess. So
okay.
I don't know how into this I'll be, but like I want to read it.
Could be good.
I think I do. Like it seems cool. So this I might not get to. I'm really leaning towards the Ice One right now. So, but we'll
I want you to like read that one out loud.
Yeah. We'll get to that when I get to that. Okay, so I did get us some of these thingies. I got the assorted one just because I feel like they'll all be really good. Yeah,
we got options tonight.
I got us each Nerd's Rope, and I got myself some Airheads. These are my favorites. And then Kaylee got some.
She got me some Sour Patch
Sour
Kids.
Patch Kids.
Treat me right.
Yes.
Okay, I did open this bag of chips while you were in the bathroom because I couldn't help myself. They were very good.
I didn't know that. That's so funny.
So we'll pretend this is sealed shut.
I'm gonna try one.
Dude, they're good.
Ooh,
They got a little kick them. They're Chipotle barbecue.
Mm.
And it's avocado oil and vegan. So technically they're healthy.
That's good. I like that a lot.
A little spicy.
And then I love pickles, so I picked out dill pickles.
So good.
I'm so excited for these ones. And then our last
but
one,
certainly not least.
Pirate Booty. It's the best.
Perfect to go with our map making.
You're so right. Oh my gosh, we'll feel like pirates. Mark and Treasure. Yes. And then we have some drinks. What drink did you get? You got
I got
Poppy?
cherry lime poppy.
Poppy. Very good. I got less healthier options. I got like a tiny Alani just to like give me a little bit of caffeine. Like I did not want a full one because I'd be bouncing off the walls. But then I also got a Dr. Pepper for like another boost.
Just for funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll update. We'll show you ourselves reading.
We'll see how long we make it.
I don't know. My goal, as long as I finish this, I'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna try to finish it. That's fine.
Okay.
But if I get bored of it,
I believe in
I'll
you.
just
Yeah,
some out.
Literally take whatever you want. If you need a recommendation, I got you. I have
maybe I
so
was for
many.
fantasy. I don't even
Oh,
know.
girl, I have so many. You can literally do whatever you want.
The night is young.
Yes, it is, and I have so many options. So, yeah, we will update you, but this is really fun. I'm really excited.
Ich bin aufgeregt.
Aufgeregt.
Aufgeregt. I always mix up the G and the R.
Okay, cool. See you later. Starting our fantasy maps. I'm so excited. We've got Spotify, we've got all our supplies, and I've got my first beverage, my Alani Peach with only 100 milligrams of caffeine.
Only
I don't need that much. But yeah.
I got meine Wasser.
Yeah, I need mehr Wasser, so I will go get that soon. But here we go. Yay. There should be enough rice in here for both of us, but since it's a big campus, the only thing I would say is just try not to get it on my floor.
Okay.
So that way it doesn't go anywhere and we can reuse it. Do you want to do it first? Okay, moment of truth.
Oh gosh.
And you can like spread it around, like they like moved it where they wanted. So fun. like twins.
Oh my god, the smiling.
I wheezed. The cough got to me.
Hello.
Hey, jump scare.
Welcome back.
It's so creepy.
Oh my god.
Hey everybody. I'm back with an update. My boyfriend is here. He's playing his game and we're about to do a gaming reading date. I wanted to update because when my friend Kaylee was over yesterday, we spent a lot of time making our fantasy maps, which I'll show you probably tomorrow because it's dark out right now and I don't feel like it right now, but I'll show you what I did tomorrow because I'll probably work on it more tomorrow. But we worked on it for like 4 hours and we didn't even get that much done. It was very time consuming, but it was a lot of fun. And then we baked gingerbread muffins, which were delicious. And then we watched Narnia, and you know, we had said we were gonna try and stay up as late as possible so we can read as much as possible. That went better for some of us rather than others. But I'm happy to say that I actually finished a book. I finished Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So I had like 100 pages left of this and I just kind of was so invested in it. Things just kept happening and plot twists kept twisting and turning. Like, it was so good and I didn't really see any of it coming. It's just really surprising. So I really liked it. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars. So I'm looking forward to picking up the second book sometime next year. And yeah, I just really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I guess I just didn't have too many high expectations because I feel like most people are like, yeah, it's just okay, like it's good and you know, it's fun, but it wasn't like my favorite. But like, I really liked it. It was really good and I kept like having reactions during the movie and Kaylee would look at me and be like, oh my gosh, what part are you at? And it was just really fun and she couldn't focus so she didn't read that much, but it's okay. I still had a great time. It was still really nice. Some more updates, and that's I've been listening to Midnight in Everwood. I decided to go with the audiobook for this because I realized I was reading it super slowly. Like, I've been reading this for like a week or so and I'm still only on chapter 6 so not that much progress, but I made it up to, actually I don't even know what chapter anymore, but I'm about 20% through now, so I've got a lot farther just by listening for like an hour today. And I'm about to listen more because I'm gonna crochet for a bit because I need to finish some Christmas gifts, and I'm gonna listen to this. And so far it's still really good. We're getting into more of like the actual conflict because the main character, Marietta, she really wants to like do ballet, but her father's super old-fashioned and is like prohibiting her from continuing to dance. So like she's gonna have this final performance at their, I think, Christmas ball, which, you know, Nutcracker, that's where we're getting into it. And then after that she's like never supposed to dance again because like it's not proper for a lady or whatever, and she needs to get married. And so she's dealing with like that pressure from her family and she just doesn't want any of that. But then Drosselmeyer was just introduced, and so he's been like really mysterious. Like there's something off about him that Marietta picks up on and we don't really know where it's gonna go, and I'm really curious. This is a lot like, I don't know, it's a lot different than how I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like straight out the door Nutcracker, like we're at the ball and then we're gonna go into Fantasyland, but there's just been a lot more build up than I thought there would be, which isn't bad. It's just kind of like making it drag for me a bit. So I'm excited to continue this. Hopefully I can still finish it before Christmas. That'd be great. The next book I'm going to pick up is The Ice Swan by Janelle I can't pronounce it. Cieselski. I think that's what it would be. Anyways, I'm gonna start this because it seems like what I'm in the mood for right now, which is like a fantasy-esque period piece, because this takes place in like Russia during the Russian Revolution, and this princess is fleeing like the war and all that, and she has to go into hiding into Paris, but then it involves a Scottish duke and they're in a marriage of convenience. And that sounds perfect. That sounds so good. And I just think it'll be really fun. And I haven't heard anything about this, so I kind of just want to give it a shot and see how I'll like it. But as for potential cruise reads, because that is slowly creeping up, and I want to figure out what books I want to read, because we'll have a long car ride and then we'll have some time like on the beach, I expect, or something like that, or at the pool where I can relax and maybe read something, hopefully. So yeah, I need to plan out what I want to bring, because I don't want to bring too many physical books, just because that's going to take up space and I don't really want to have to deal with like, oh, which one did I bring with me? Which one do I need to bring back? So I think I'm gonna bring maybe like 1 or 2 physical books, and then hopefully I can finish one in the car, you know, like binge read it or something. And then I'm also gonna bring my iPad, and then I can just read everything else on there, whether it's like a library copy or it's something I've downloaded. So we'll just have to figure it out, just because for convenience sake, like having an ebook is so much better to just number one, carry around, and also like protect. Like I don't want to get pages wet or something. But I think for physical book, I'm probably gonna bring this one, Becoming Calder by Mia Sheridan, just because a coworker gave it to me to read, and it seems like very like easy. Like it's just a romance. It doesn't require much like thinking. So if I'm in the car for a long time and I'm feeling tired, I could just read this maybe. But then I also am thinking about bringing As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is like out of nowhere. But my grandma just read the first 2 books in the series, and she was like, bring me the next one. I'm like, I haven't read it. She's like, well, I want you to read it first. So I'm like, well, maybe I could read it over the cruise, and then when I get back, give it to her. But I also, like, I kind of want to wait on this, so I don't know if I'll do this for sure. But it's an idea. I just want to try not to bring library books on the trip with me, because those aren't ones, like, I own. So I don't want to lose them or have anything happen to them. So I'm going to try and finish the Ice one as fast as I can. Not like rush through it, but just like, you know, get it over with so I can return that. I just don't want to have any like outstanding holds or, you know, damage anything. Okay, I'm a little out of focus and I'm a little backlit, but I'm upstairs right now. I'm about to eat breakfast, but I wanted to give a quick update, and that's that I've started reading The Ice Swan by Janelle Siselski. I'm just gonna call it that because I don't know how to say her last name. But this follows a Russian princess named Svetlana, and she has to flee from the Russian Revolution in Petrograd in like the start of I guess in the middle of World War One. And she flees to Paris, where her and her mom and her sister are living as kind of like refugees. You know, they're living in the bottom of a church and just really struggling. And then it also follows this Scottish duke named, well, second in line to the title, named Wynne McCallan, and he is a doctor, like serves as like a medical wartime surgeon guy in like this hospital. And so they kind of have crossed paths already, but they're gonna get into a marriage of convenience soon, which I'm really intrigued to find out how that's gonna set up. It just sounds really cool. So I'm liking it a lot so far. I think the history is written really well, and the characters seem really real and realistic, which I enjoy. But the main reason for this update is because I'm about to eat breakfast, but I got a package that I did not order, so we're gonna open it and see what it is. I think it's a book. It feels like a book, but let's go. There's a note. Let's read the note first. I knew it. I knew it. It's from Haley. It says, Merry Christmas, Nora, from Haley. And the book is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I wanted to read this for such a long time. It just looks so cool. And this is kind of like, not like historical, but like, I don't even know what you would call this. Like, it's a mix of like kind of historical and like magical fantasy. Sorry, you cannot see the cover very well at all. Okay, so here's the cover. Oh my gosh, it says a curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic, friendship, and love in the start of a heartwarming and enchanting new fantasy series. That sounds so good. I've heard so many great things about this, and I'm really excited to pick it up. Oh my gosh, and just the cover is beautiful. Thank you so much, Haley. I know you're watching this, but I'm about to text you anyways. Thank you so much, and I hope you get your gift soon. I feel like I look super pale, maybe because I didn't put any bronzer on. this morning, but it's currently Saturday and I work today, but thankfully it's later. It's in a little bit. It's currently about noon and I go in at 1. So I have a little bit of time until I need to leave. So I thought I'd do a reading update just to kind of start closing out this vlog. I'll probably end this vlog tomorrow before work, just because it's the end of the week and we'll get into Christmas stuff and I need to edit this vlog very badly. I did start The Ice Swan by Janelle Siselski, like I said, and I got up to chapter 5, which is page 70. So far this is moving a bit slower, but I think that's just because the chapters are longer, so it takes a bit to like kind of get into it, but honestly I don't mind because I'm getting a lot of information about the characters. So the two main characters are Svetlana and Win, and Svetlana is like the Russian princess. You know, she's like a refugee in Paris with her family right now, and Win is a doctor who's also like the heir, the second son to a Scottish duke. So, you know, he's important, but he doesn't want to like hold on to his title, and neither does Svetlana at this point because she's a refugee. So she's like, there's no point in holding on to stuff that we're probably never gonna get back. So it's really interesting to see like the discussion about like their titles and how they just don't really matter to them at this point. But basically the premise, like how they meet, is that Svetlana gets injured and Win kind of like follows her to see like if she's okay, but she escapes before he can find her. Well, then they show up wanting help at the hospital that he works at, and he agrees to help them because he recognized her. And she's very like standoffish, like she's very closed off. She doesn't want anyone close to her like to know anything about her. But he like is curious about her and he wants to help, so they're kind of like getting to know each other a bit. And yeah, it's just a very interesting premise so far. I'm excited to see more. And the part I left off on, there was like gunshots, and now they're like, oh, it's chaotic. So I'm excited to keep reading this. It is a bit slower, but honestly I don't mind. I just am really liking the like historical aspect so far, and I'm excited to see like the romance start to come in. And I have been listening to more of Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar, and I got up to chapter 23, which is page 163. So I'm about like halfway through. The audiobook has been going really quickly. I've been listening to it on double speed, so that's definitely why. But the story has moved a lot quicker than I thought, but that's also because chapters are super short in this. Like we'll get like one scene a chapter, which normally I don't mind short chapters, but I feel like this is just like there's something missing about it. I don't know, like it's very magical. I really enjoy the writing style of this and how the like palace is described, and how like after Marietta gets transported to this magical world, she, you know, all the dresses and all the foods and kind of like the senses are described really well, so I'm enjoying that. But I just don't really enjoy Marietta as a character. She's just kind of boring to me, and I think she is like well-rounded and she's slowly like developing throughout the story, but just the whole like plot seems a bit all over the place for my liking, because we spent like the first quarter of the book in like the real world, and like Maria's trying to avoid having to be forced into like a marriage she doesn't want, especially like with Drosselmeyer. He comes off as kind of like a creep, and then he transports her to this magical world, and then she is like fascinated, and like she seems like not hesitant at all. Like she does not have her guard up at all, and she like is brought to this ball by some of the guards. She asked to be brought by this ball so she can see what it's like. And then she starts dancing despite the captain's warning to like don't catch the king's attention. And she just doesn't listen, and so she dances, and then the king's like, I want you to be my dancer. And she's like, okay, I accept. And then he basically just starts keeping her locked up with these two other girls, like imprisoned basically and tortured. And I'm like, you didn't see that coming? Like, surely you would know to just like don't go along with what some king says in this world you don't even know anything about. Like, I don't know, she's just kind of naive to me, and it just doesn't seem realistic. And also a lot of the dialogue does not seem realistic, because one of the other girls she's imprisoned with, I forget her name, but she was like stolen away from another kingdom in that world, in the magical world, into like a marriage pact with this evil king. And she was just like kind of telling the story of it, and I'm like, I would have rather seen this girl's story than Marietta's. Like I feel like that's cooler, and like I don't know, I like the take it's doing, but it's just like not what I expected from a Nutcracker retelling. Like I didn't expect it to be like dark and evil Drosselmeyer. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know. It just seems a bit all over the place. I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought, but I'm already halfway, so I think I'll listen to like maybe an hour or two more, like today and tomorrow. And if I'm really not liking it, I'll just DNF it because I just don't care enough to spend my time on this when it's almost the end of the year and I could be devoting the rest of my time to finishing a book I actually care about. So I'm still gonna give it a little bit more of a shot, but safe to say I'm just a bit kind of bummed on the direction it's taking. But you know, it's not like a bad book. I just didn't expect it to go this way. I did want to update you and show you my progress I've made with my fantasy map because I've done quite a bit and it looks really cool so far. So hopefully you can see everything. It's not super detailed, like I just have the 3 kingdoms and then down here is like, I don't even know what that's going to be yet, but I've started doing a forest. It's just really time consuming because I want it to look good and then there's just so much detail that goes into it. This will be an ongoing project, but it's a lot of fun so far and it's nice to like listen to music or an audiobook while I work on it. So anyways, I need to get ready and go to work, but I will talk to you tomorrow. Hey everyone, back with an update. Sorry I've been in this camera angle like the entire video. It's just the easiest for me when I'm sitting at my desk, but I'm currently working on some crochet projects. So this is one panel of a sweater that I've been working on for my cousin for ages, and then this is, oh, not purple, this is what I've started on the other half. So I'm just rewatching Arcane and continuing that since I've finally got all my Christmas crochet projects done. I'm done with all my scarves and everything, so I'm just continuing stuff, and I'd like to start to make a book sleeve soon, like a crochet book sleeve, but I feel like that'd be really cute to be able to make, and then, you know, I can give to people and like maybe even sell one day. Like that'd be really cool, but I'm always hesitant to turn my hobbies into like jobs because then it's an obligation and it is no longer fun. Like it might be, but it adds like stress and pressure to it. So I don't really know if I'll do that. I kind of just do it for fun and because I like doing it with my hands. But anyways, I'm going to give a reading update and also close out this vlog because it's currently Monday the 23rd and I meant to end this yesterday, but I had a busy day yesterday. So today I'm just going to use my free time to just read and crochet and relax, and I started my period so I don't want to do anything anyways, but I wanted to close out this weekly reading vlog. So I did start Becoming Calder. I can't remember if I said that yesterday or not, or if I said that I don't even remember when I recorded last, but I did start this and I got up to chapter 6, which is page 76. So we're at a decent chunk and I do have a good idea of what this is about. So it follows the main characters Calder and Eden, and Calder is growing up in kind of this, it's basically a cult. It's ran by this guy named Hector, and he believes that his bride, once he marries this girl named Eden, that he kind of doesn't like kidnap, but he like grooms her is what he's doing essentially, to like be his wife and be like the blessed one, which will bring like his whole cult to like essentially what is their heaven. Like it's really weird. I don't really like this cult leader Hector guy, but Calder is like of the working class growing up in this cult, and so he is kind of like, you know, he has to do more work. They don't have as many like luxurious privileges that Hector does. Like the house that they live in has no like electricity, no running water, like very primitive. But then Hector and Eden up at the house have like a washing machine and like lights and electricity. And so it's like a very interesting clash that like, you know, he'd have his people have nothing while he has all the privileges. It's really strange. I don't really like this Hector character, but Calder is really interesting because he is trying to make an irrigation system to help out like the people of Acadia is what the community is called. So he wants to build that to help, but he doesn't know what Hector will think, and Hector goes on these pilgrimages. Is that the right word? Yeah, whatever. Often to like try and get insight from the gods or whatever. I don't like him, if you can't tell. Calder wants to get on the council, so he's trying to do something really revolutionary that will help him get there, and so he can help out the people of Acadia. And he stumbles upon Eden one day in the forest, in like the canyon they live in Arizona. And, you know, Eden is very sheltered. Like, she's not allowed to, she only knows how to read and like play piano. Like, she's not allowed to learn math or science. Like, very like sheltered basically, but she like sneaks out because she wants to like live and like learn things. So they stumble upon each other one day, and so right now they've just made this deal where Eden will bring Calder art supplies so he can draw and sketch, and Calder will teach Eden math and science and basically everything she hasn't learned so far. So it's really interestingly set up, and Eden is very much like head over heels in love with Calder just because she's so like in her own world that she doesn't really have a great sense of, I guess, reality, but that's not her like fault. Like, she's been kept hidden and protected, but it's also a weird relationship because like she is the blessed one. So like, I don't know, I feel like Calder doesn't look at her as like a person yet. He's like stuck in that balance between, I've been told this stuff about her that I have to think this way about her, but I also can't really help my feelings that I have for her. So it's really interesting. It's going a little fast, like in terms of their relationship, but it is really good. I'm liking it a lot more than I thought. I had no idea it was about a cult, so that's really interesting. But I also hate Hector. Like, it's a weird premise because when Eden is introduced, like by him to like their entire cult, she's like 7 years old. And basically when he introduces her, he says, "This is gonna be my wife." She's 7 years old? He did say when she turns 18. But still, that's weird that you're like grooming this child and manipulating her and lying to her and like essentially taking away her choices and like her life basically to fulfill whatever delusion you have. It's weird. I hope something really bad happens to him. But yeah, it's pretty interesting so far. I don't know, I thought it would be a bit more like dystopian than it actually is, but the cult setting is really interesting. And I still am reading The Ice Swan. I haven't continued more of this. I'm still on chapter 5, but I'm probably gonna start listening to a bit of the audiobook. I didn't really want to, just because after I started it, I was really enjoying it, so I didn't want to, like, I don't know, I wanted to do it physically. Like, I should listen to some of the audiobook too, just to like make progress quicker. Like, I'm not trying to rush myself on this, but I'd like to finish this before I leave for my cruise. So yeah, definitely gonna continue that, just might do audiobook. And then I decided to DNF Midnight in Everwood, which I'm kind of bummed about because I'd hoped this would be a really fun Nutcracker retelling for like the winter, for Christmas time, but it just was really disappointing. I got up to like, I think 55, almost 60% of this audiobook, and I don't know, the characters just, they had a lot of potential, but I think since the world building wasn't really fleshed out and also the pacing was really strange compared to all the stuff that was trying to happen at the same time, it just, I don't know, it had a lot of potential. It was just really disappointing. So yeah, I just decided I'm not gonna spend any more time with it. You know, I hopefully will find a Nutcracker retelling that I enjoy one day, but this was not it. I had really high hopes, but I don't know. It's not a bad book by any means. It's just not what I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be much more of like a whimsical fantasy, but it was trying really hard to be like this social commentary, I don't know, empowerment thing, which is not bad. I like that message when it's executed right, but there wasn't enough character development for it to make sense. Like, I don't know. It was a lot of like talking and not a lot of action. Like, basically a lot of telling, no showing me that these characters like were empowered, if that makes sense. Like, basically these three girls are trapped by this king, and so one of them, whose story is actually more interesting than the main girls, I forget what she said exactly, but she was just like, I know my worth, like, I have my armor, and like, he can't take that from me. It was just a lot of like being told that she feels that way without showing me that she actually feels that way and like is trying to go against this king. But I don't know, it's really hard to explain. And also there was this romance that was starting to happen, and it was just not, it was out of nowhere, and it felt like it just was happening to happen. Like there was no really reason for it, no chemistry between the characters. I guess it was between the main girl and the guy who was supposed to represent the Nutcracker, but still, it didn't feel like the Nutcracker. It felt, at the beginning, it felt like the Nutcracker with like, oh, the Christmas ball and Drosselmeyer, but then after the main character went into this world, Everwood, it was just its own fantasy thing. Like there were like sugar plums and snowflakes and ballet and dancing, but like there were nutcracker soldiers. There was a lot of like mice things mentioned, but like no like rat king, no, none of the normal nutcracker stuff. So it was just disappointing. It was just really weird. So I'm not gonna spend any more time with it. So I'm DNFing this, but it's okay. I don't really know when my next reading vlog is going to be, just because with cruise, and then I will start school like as soon as I get back, so that really sucks. I don't want to go back to school, but I will be reading some exciting books, so I will definitely be updating you on those. But yeah, that's all I have for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching. I had a lot of fun filming this. This is probably one of my other favorite reading vlogs, even though I've been kind of all over the place, just like with the fantasy maps and like my slumber party I had. It was just a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm sad that this is like my last chance at a reading vlog for winter break, but it's okay. It was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed watching, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll see you in my next video.